Okay, so now we've got a 2-volt fuel cell again, so hopefully if we just connect that up to here, we can open that door, that's fine. However, we've got these 2 platforms to do as well. So we're going to need to get one platform up. And we can jump down. So can we just do that? Right, okay, so we're going to need to put it in series with another one. Yes, we should be able to get across onto that and up there, but then we're not going to be able to get down here without turning it off, so it needs to go through that switch as well, so we can disable them when we get up here. But we still need these 2 volts as well. You can just get that from this 2-volt fuel cell, so we get put them through these 3-way connectors, then we can just siphon off some. So I should probably point out that the blobs in the wires indicate the size of the voltage. So if this is like 0, these big blobs are like 2 volts. And then sort of in the middle here we've got like 1 volt and then back down to 0 again. So this is kind of measuring the difference in size between the blobs. Right, are we done? Yes, let's go down and catch this lift.
Connect the measuring device between the top and the bottom of a fuel cell, it will measure the voltage of the fuel cell. But if you connect it between the top and the bottom of a machine, it will measure the voltage across the machine, which is just the height of the machine's power square. And now, obviously, the machine has to be wired up to a fuel cell, otherwise it doesn't have a power square, and the voltage across it would be 0.
Okay, so we've got to get 1 volt across here, so we can't just connect it straight up to the fuel cell. That will give us 2 volts, because it's a 2-volt fuel cell. And we've got a door, and we've got a resistor here. So what we can do is let's connect it up to here. Okay, so now we've got 1 volt. If 2 volts is across the whole of the fuel cell, it's just 1 volt is going to be across each of these machines. So we can just wire this measuring device between the top and the bottom of this machine, and it will just be measuring the height of this power square, which is here, which is just 1 volt. Alright, it's a bit more complicated, so we need to raise this one up. Along here, raise that one up. We need to get this door, so it's 0.5 volt through there, down. It's still going to be raised up through there, and we need this up. There's no switches, no other terminals. This is 1 volt, so basically we need to get everything powered and these doors all unlocked at once. So the way to think about this is that if we just connect these 2 machines up in the series, this is a 1 volt fuel cell. So yes, we're going to have 1 volt across the whole thing and 0.5 volt across each of these machines. So if we get this going through here, and through this splitter here, and then there. Then we've basically got half a volt between these two. And we would have 1 volt between those two. We need that coming from here, so let's put that half a volt there. And put that up to that, and then we can bring this one up to here. And that gives us the 1 volt. Okay, so here we've got to get 2/3 of a volt. So we might be tempted to do our kind of 2/3 pattern. Which maybe we can do actually. Let's have a look, see if we can do that. So that would have to go through one of these. Sorry, I should first point out we're going to need to come along here, We don't need this platform here to get across here. And then up here through this door, this is the 2/3 of a volt, along here, jump over that, along here, up here, and then all the way out. So the thing is, this platform needs to rise up to here, which means this one needs to come up to there, which means this one needs to come up to here. So we need all of these powered. So the initial way you might think about doing this is that you power that one, you split this out to be, to make it a bit easier to see, this. So then we've got 2/3 of an amp flowing through this top one, 2/3 of a volt across it. Unfortunately, we've kind of run out of 3-way connectors, so we don't have any way of plugging this into our circuit. So we need to rethink this. And the thing to note is that this is really just measuring the height of a power square, but it can measure the height of more than one power square at a time. So if we just wire all these up in series, then the voltage across one of these is going to be 1/3, and the voltage across 2 of them stacked on top of each other will be 2/3. So this gives us our connectors that we needed. So this is measuring basically the height of the bottom 2 squares. So here we've got to get 1/3. Let's just think about this room first of all. We've got to get 1/3 flowing through this one. We've got a let's see, a square one here and a long thinny here. So this is presumably something like this. Okay, so this long thin one is like 2 squares, and then you've got 1 square on top, so that's like making 3 squares high, so each one would be 1/3. So we've got 1/3 of an amp flowing through, and then, well, I'm just going to make a guess and pull these over to there, see what we have to do in the next one. Okay, so now we've got to get 2/3 of a volt across this one, which is actually just the height of that bottom rectangle, and 1/3 across that one. So that's going to be 2/3 across this one, which we have 1/3 across that one, but we've only got 3 connectors, so basically we're going to have to use this switch to decide which one we're doing. So let's do that. Let's just make it look slightly nicer. We can do it that way. Here we go. So with the switch connecting this one up, it's measuring across these two. Yep, those two. So that's 2/3, and this one, we've got that going 1/3. Right, 1 amp. Okay, so this should be fine. Gives us that, but then actually we've got to get 1 volt across this as well. So actually we can do this. So basically now we're kind of doing, we've got target voltages and currents at the same time.
The voltage across a machine is the height of its power square. Who said that? Another way to look at it is it's like the pressure pushing charge through the machine. So, when the voltage across a machine gets bigger, the current flowing through it gets bigger too. Yes.
Okay, so previously we had a 1 volt fuel cell and we had like a square resistor, and that gave us the 1 amp that we were looking for, but now when we do this, it's actually giving us 2 amps because we've got a 2 volt fuel cell. So something like this, and this is looking for 2 volts, which actually is what our fuel cell is, so we can just connect this across like this. Back to 1 volt again. Now we've got to get 2 amps flowing through this, so that's a wide one we need. Again, we've got a target voltage of 1 volt, which is just whatever the fuel cell is. So we can just connect that up like that. And now we've got the same 2 amps, but this time we've got a 2 volt fuel cell. So if we use the same kind of resistor as before, it's just going to be massive. It's gone off the scale there actually. So actually, remember this amp measuring thing, it's just measuring the width of the power square. So with a 2 volt fuel cell, we get twice the width as well, so we get 2 amps, which is what we're after. And we've got a 2 volt battery to get as well.
You keep coming, don't you? Well, I'm always 1 step ahead. I have a lot of things to do before you catch up with me. I know one day you'll be in the here and now, and when you are, I'll be ready for you. Yes, what is it? I'm right in the middle of... It's you. I'm not ready for you. I need a bit more time. Please. All right. Come in. Come in. Come in through the main gate. Follow the path round the back of the school. You can get up to my flat from there. Don't go inside the school. You may never get out.
So we come full circle. Okay, so here we've got to get a third of an amp through this. So, what's this? This one's from 2, this is 1. Is this a third? No, this is going to give us half actually, so we need something like that to get a third. Oh, we want 2/3 of a volt, so that's basically the height of this one, isn't it? So, like that. Oops. Done it? Yes.
This relationship between current, voltage, and resistance is very important. It even has its own law. Ohm's law. When the voltage gets bigger, the current gets bigger. When the resistance gets bigger and the power rectangles get thinner, then the current gets smaller. This is... there are you. Try not to pay too much attention to the handsome man on the projectors. He's completely delusional.
Okay. Ladder jumping now.
This is the end of the instructional films. I'm going to miss our little chats. I still need to build a couple more rooms, just for you to get a bit of practice in. And then I think we're finished.
Okay, so 1.5 volts we've got to make, and we've got a 2 volt thing. So if we think about this as if we think about it as sort of 4 squares on top of each other, we'd kind of do this. So how do we do that? Well, we don't have to be squares. So okay, so maybe the things there. If we put all of these in series, what does that look like? Okay, so then that's going to be, that bottom square is like 1 height, and then each of these is a half. So we're trying to measure between the square and one of these, aren't we? So let's just connect that into there and that into here. That should get it. Okay, we're at 99%, so this is the final puzzle. We've got 2 rooms. So the first thing is just to get 1 volt across this thing. So these 2 just need to be in series, but there's 3 sort of wires leading through to the other room. So let's make sure that we've got something going through to the other room. And we've got 1 volt across one of these, because remember this is a 2 volt fuel cell. I'm just going to connect these wires across to the other room because we are no doubt going to need them. Okay, so here we've got 3 different levels of voltage. We think of this as 0 volts, this is like 1 volt, and this is like 2 volts. And we've got to get this platform, we've got to get it to come down so we can jump on, and then probably up to here. So we don't want it to come down too far, but we've got to get up to there, and then we come around and flick the switch, and then we need it to go up by flicking the switch. So the thing to note is that this middle one, if we connect this onto here, we can either make the platform go up if we put the bottom one on here, or we can make the platform go down by attaching the other one. So we basically need to choose between these 2 wires to be plugged into here, so we can use the switch for that. There we go, so that's up and that's down. Right, let's do it then.
Made it then? To the here and now? Strange. I spent so long with you following me from the shadows. I was quite eager for you to catch up with me at first, wasn't I? You were always pushing me forward, looking for the next thing to make, or looking back and reminiscing. You know, I don't think I ever really lived in the present, did I? Look at me, I'm not even doing it now. Do you always appear like this? In the form of someone we loved? I don't know what I was expecting. Big black gown and a scythe, I suppose. I wanted to re-record all my films. I even got a new camera. Look, I haven't opened it yet. I think it's going to be a lot better. I just thought I'd feel ready I don't.
I don't suppose Melissa felt ready either, did she? It'll be good to be together again. Oh, lots of people helped me make the school what it is. I put all their names on here. Let me just get it loaded up into the projector. By the sweat of your brow, you will eat your food until you return to the ground. Since from it you were taken, for dust you are. And to dust you will return. I'm ready.